Freestyle Drive. Got a real special guest with me today. Got my brother Kool Kim.
What up, Cat? You already know, fam.
Formerly NY Oil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always NY Oil.
You're always
you know
NY Oil.
Okay. You never. That's a part of me. So I'm never not that cat.
Got you.
But right now we focusing more on the Kool Kim aspect of myself.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So I can relax and enjoy life a little bit. I did a lot of work as NY Oil. I feel like I deserve a break today.
So it's like an alter ego. Is NY Oil the alter ego of Kool Kim?
It's like, how, all right, so your moms knows you a certain way, right? Your siblings may know you a different way.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you go to school, you act a certain way. When you go to work, you act a certain, you know what I'm saying?
True.
Because each one of those things requires a different facet of your face. It's not necessarily an alter ego as much as it is just like, yo, this is who I am in the context of this is going on. And in the context of what was going on at the time, NY Oil represented that. That was the part of me that was coming out, was NY Oil. Like, yo, this is how I feel about that,
I want to get to that, when you started as NY Oil, but I do want to start it with Kool Kim.
Yeah.
That was your name when you started the group UMCs.
Yes, sir.
Y'all was doing amazing things in the early 90s, 91. Y'all released the album, Fruits of Nature, man. Y'all was at #1 in the billboards and all that. How did that group come about forming?
Yo, all right, so since a lot of cats are familiar with the Wu-Tang saga, right? There's a scene where they in the Statue of Liberty, and they go on and cop the little things so they can sell them out in the streets.
Yeah, I watched it. The new show on Hulu you're talking about.
Yes, the new joint on Hulu, you know what I mean? And of course it also featured the talents of one of my young mentees, you know what I'm saying, from Chinatown, Intel.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? You guys, son, it was definitely sat in this very same seat. So that's love is love. So yeah, to make a long story short, that scene, I'm in that scene, except for we're not in that scene. You understand what I'm saying? But me and Haas at the time were working in the Statue of Liberty at the same time as Meth, and I want to say Blue was working there and You God was working there at the same time. So yeah, we was
talking about y'all when
we was all there.
Okay.
Yeah, we were all there. There's a scene where they kind of imply something that happened that they don't really talk on, because if they do, it could be a problem.
Okay.
But long story short, yeah, we was there for that, man. And then
that scene was like Method Man lost his job or something, or he was trying to get the job back. Or
when they went up there to go get cop the little stuff out of the little thing that they was going, like, yo, we're gonna get this weed money, whatever. Sure, like weed. Yeah, it don't go. That's not how it really went at all. It's nothing like what really went on. But suffice to say, because that was the hustle. I could say one of the hustles is getting a Statue of Liberty T-shirt. Like that year that we was all working there, yo, a Statue of Liberty T-shirt was hot. Yeah.
To rock it or to sell it?
To rock it.
Nice.
Okay. It was hot to rock. So then you go pawn them off. But that wasn't where the hustle came. The hustle came in another place. But long story short, we met at the Statue of Liberty. We was on a boat together, and he was writing rhymes. And I was like, yo, you rhyme? He was like, he's all secretive and shit. And then I was like, yo, should I rhyme too? And then we became fast friends. And he brought me to where his crew. Crew that I was with at the time, what cats wasn't serious, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I was like, yo, this is a nowhere prospect right here, right? And make a long story short, again, we got cool, man, you know what I'm saying? And we me and him clicked off of that crew, and we became the Universal MCs.
You talking about you and Haas now?
You and me and Haas. Me and Haas became the Universal MCs, and we got signed to this label up in the Bronx called Rough Luxury Records, and we put out a record in '89.
So even before the
okay. So he put out a single, a part of a compilation album called Invaders in My Fruit Basket, and another song called Party Styling.
Nice.
And that was all well and cool. And then somewhere in there, man, you know what I'm saying, we got at Wild Pitch after every other label rejected us. You feel me? Then Wild Pitch got at us, you know what I'm saying, and the people that put us on the Wild Pitch was actually Gangstar, Guru, and Premier.
Wow, okay.
They were the ones that was like, yo.
They heard it and they were like,
we're going to walk this in for you. It's good. We got this. And they walked us in, and, they walked it in, and because it was on the strength for them, that it made Stu Fine look at us a little more seriously. And then he came to a show we did in the Bronx, which was ill because we're from Staten Island, but we did a lot of shows uptown, the Bronx, Brooklyn. Like, we were doing more shows out of borough than we were, at home.
Locally,
because it wasn't really nothing too much to do on the island. And You know, so because there wasn't as much to do on the island, a lot of people on the island ain't know how hard we was working to get to where we got. So when
how was that? Yeah. So being from Staten Island performing in the BX, for example, was there like, who these Staten Island motherfuckers coming out here?
We didn't get that energy because you know what we did was we performed, fam. Like, you know, like that was the difference with how we got down and how to this day how I get down. Like, I'm looking at this as, yo, I'm here to entertain cats. Like, yo, son, I'm gonna do this show for you. I got these dope rhymes. I'm gonna put this joint on for you and we gonna shake. Wow, fuck, wow, yo, son, I ain't been over here in years, son. Yo, this is that's a trip I ain't been where we at right now in years and years, man. I used to, me and my brother used to walk by here, you know what I'm saying, when I was a kid.
Because even though you're from Staten Island, I'm in Brooklyn right now.
I was born in Brooklyn.
You was born in Brooklyn, okay.
But I was raised in Staten Island. Gotcha, you know, enough so that I don't really say that I'm from Brooklyn because I only was literally born here. And then within the year of me being born, we moved to Staten Island. But all my peoples was in, you know, my brother's peoples rather was in Brooklyn, so I was here a lot, you know, chilling with them. But yeah, but you know, coming from Staten, wasn't really no thing, man. We would just perform, you know, like, you know, just have a good time, vibes. You know what I'm saying? Just it was vibes, you know, and people liked what we was doing, and so we were well loved uptown. Like, you know, we used to do at the show at this club called One West, in Manhattan. It was literally 1 West, 125th Street, and it was owned by the dude that we had signed to when we did that first joint.
Oh, the previous, the Bronx label.
Yeah,
okay.
You know what I'm
so y'all named yourself the UMCs.
Yeah.
What did the UMCs?
We was first Universal MCs.
Universal MCs.
And then we truncated down to UMCs, and then UMCs grew to mean Undisputed Masters of Charisma. You know what I'm saying? Understanding many concepts. Universal Microphone Controller. You know what I'm saying? Unleash My Concept. You know, just it was just an acronym for whatever we could come up with at the time, you know? Because we was just on some other shit, you know?
When were you going by Kool Kim? For the group or before the group? Or how long have you been going by that name?
I've been going by Kool Kim since sophomore year of high school.
Someone gave you that name?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I used to go to art and design, high school art and design on 57th and 2nd Avenue. That's where I wrote my first rhyme. I was in the same homeroom as Kwame, you know, cat with the polka dots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know, I was the only Staten Islander, me and my mans, but there was 3 of us from Staten Island that was going there. And yo, somehow or another, man, I managed to, you know, we managed to just shine while we was out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just was doing our thing. So people was, you know, we got cool with Cash, but one time at homeroom, man, Kwame was getting busy doing his thing. And Kwame was really dope, you know what I'm saying? You know, at that time, for that time, he was like a slick Rick, like a young slick Rick. And so I was like, yo, I'm gonna write my first rhyme. So I went home and wrote this rhyme. It was like, my definition's integrated as imprecise, not easily understood, so now I must think twice. I demoniacally deliver and demonstrate pronunciation sentence phrases you won't contemplate. To take offenses, I offend. Occultists hate me, they send their demon hordes to come and sight Browski. I surmise and supplicate, play my will forthwith, furthermore, and not done still. I'm so astute I tear asunder your minds, your words. This corporate assassinate is for the birds. You take offenses, I offend. You know, like that. So that was
nice.
That was my So you can't, yo, you can't forget your first rhyme. It's like your first girl, yo. You know what I'm saying?
I'm happy to hear that, because sometimes I've had artists guests on the show and I'm like, you remember your first rhyme? And a lot of them do not remember it.
I remember my first rhyme for real, yo.
That's dope.
Yeah, man. I think I might even have that rhyme book still, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so, you know, that's why I wrote my first rhyme. But at that point, I was calling myself Pop Ski. And, because my nickname was Popo everybody knew me as Popo from Staten Island.
Okay.
Anyway, when I moved to, you know, it's not moved, but when I left art and design and went back to Curtis, my man Larry Love, one of my other peoples introduced me to Larry, but Larry already knew me. So they was like, yo, this my man Kim. He's like, man, I know Kim. That's Kool Kim right there. That's Kool Kim.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, I like that. Kool Kim, man. I am cool, man. I'm a cool dude. Yo, all right, yeah, let's go with that shit.
Put a K right there.
Yeah, K-O-O-L-K-I-M. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. And so that's how I come to call myself that, man. You know what I mean? Or be called that.
So when y'all released the first project, Fruits of Nature, did you know it was gonna be such a success? I mean, did you have that feeling inside of you, like we're the dopest, this shit's gonna be on the charts, or do you think it was just gonna be like a local success? Like, what was your vision at that moment?
Well, oddly enough, you know, we had reservations about signing a Wild Pitch because we had heard bad things. You know what I'm saying? And but at that point, no one was fucking with us. So it was like, yo, you know. So I recall having a conversation with House over the phone one day. I was like, yo, son, you know, if we, you know, yo, I basically was saying what God had for us, no one could keep. You know what I'm saying? What Allah had for you, no one could keep. You know what I'm saying? What He don't have for you, no one could give to you. But at the time, I didn't know that was a thing to say. So I was basically just like, yo, fam, if we dope and we worthy, yo, man, our cream gonna rise to the top. They're gonna see us, man. You know, we just gotta work hard. Like, let's take this opportunity and work really hard to make it be something. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know that it was such a big success. I mean, Blue Cheese went to #1.
Yeah.
One to Grow On was chart topping and made it to #2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, the second album had the first single off that like made it to like, you know, #4 or something like that.
That was
you know
Unleashed.
Yeah.
Second
So,
album. Yeah.
you know, it wasn't like, you know, we were doing our thing, but I do think that the timing was off for us. Like, you know, it would have been better. I think if we'd have came out with different songs, like if we'd have came out with Any Way the Wind Blows first, or we'd have came out with One to Grow On first, right?
Mm-hmm.
We might have been a different group. Like, you know what I mean? We might have been around longer because
looked at differently, you mean?
Yeah, because see, the Blue Cheese joint kind of made us too kiddie pop looking.
It was like fun, the video.
Yeah,
I mean, having fun. It's
and
catchy,
and I hated that video.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, I love Blue Cheese, but I hate the video.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's partially my fault because, you know, I was like, yo, you know, I was doing research on how to make a dope video. I wanted that shit to be like Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. You understand? Yo, man, so I was like, yo, we should do this. I want to be on Ultimate. Ultimate at the time was basically what was known as green screen. You know, like how you green screen a video and shit.
Exactly, yeah.
They used to call it Ultimate. Was the name of the process.
So you directed you had directed that? You were part of that video?
I just had input in the treatment.
Got you. Okay.
And the person though that wrote it, I actually did the direction like that. I mean, I don't know, man. They had it in their mind like we was this particular type of group.
They were trying to market you as a certain.
Yeah, man.
It's kind of like that scene in the Wu-Tang show with the RZA, Bobby.
Yeah,
and they were trying to push that video. Yeah.
And that was and that wasn't uncommon. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know. And the thing is like, it's funny because, you know, when you think about it, like, if you look at Wu-Tang and you look like at RZA and GZA, both of the Girl Come Do Me and Oh We Love You Rakim, had those songs, the only reason why Wu-Tang came about is because they failed. Because had those songs won, they still would have been making them kind of songs.
They would have got boxed in as that.
Right.
I got you, yeah.
That's what they would have been doing. But because they failed, they got the opportunity to reinvent themselves and do what they did. For us, Blue Cheese did win, so we were stuck in that.
I mean, the joint is amazing, but you're not in love with the video because it felt like it kind of gave it you grew up a certain image. But when you came out the second video, One to Grow On, that was kind of more, the video was super dope. It was more like Michael Jackson in a sense, where it was like, you know, the imagery I'm saying, with everybody sitting in front of the computer.
I hated that video.
You hated it too? Okay.
Because there was a point we had to take a stand. Alright, so you see the kids that are dancing? Mm-hmm. You know, one of them is a young lady, I can't think of her name right now. I'm sorry, sis. Little sis, you know what I mean? But she's actually an accredited author. And I kept up with them for a little while. You know what I'm saying? But they was trying to have them wear these bizarre weirdo outfits. I was like, nah, man. We was like, yo, nah. Let them put because they came. He was like, yo, you know. I was like, hold up, man. He's like, nah, this is not hip hop. This is too off the wall. Like, this is not. It's not even like an abstract thing that makes sense. It's not even really art right now. This is too out there. You know what I mean? And the audience that you're trying to grab off the rip to make this record work, they not vibing to that. You know what I'm saying? And again, it was still in that same tangent that Blue Cheese was. It just was a little more, more, you know, refined, I guess. But it still sucked to me. You know what I mean? It didn't, you know. It made the visuals did it so that although I think they was dope and people liked them, like there's a whole section of people that really enjoyed that. So I don't want to shit on nobody that grew up loving it. You know what I mean?
Fans,
you know that, and I love them for loving what we do. And I understand why they love this, and I don't want to take what was special about us to them away from them. I'm saying I just felt like they didn't do it good enough. You know what I mean? Because years later or time later, when TLC would come out, they had that shit down pat. Like that TLC, the way they was presenting TLC was the way they should have presented UMCs if they was gonna present us that way at all. You understand? And that wasn't what they did. Like they presented us in this like bizarre, it just was a little too silly.
So both videos you're not really in love with.
Nah.
Want to grow on? Okay.
And then what's the worst about Blue Cheese is that it ends on a to be continued note, but it's never to continue. Okay. Like what? There's nothing worse than a to be continued on a show, and it's never continued.
Especially at that time in the 90s.
You understand? And I'm one of the people that has created one of those damn things. That's the worst, kid. A to be continued. Oh my God, it never continues.
But was it really supposed to, or did it?
Yes, it was.
Okay. they decided we're gonna do another single. Okay. So, can we talk about why you ended up breaking up? Was this part of the reason the UMCs broke up?
We never broke up.
So you never really pushed it. You just didn't release a third album as
we just got jerked. So it was like, we couldn't really do it. We did everything that we could, including we had a whole bunch of projects like songs that no one's ever heard. You know what I'm saying?
So was label politics, you say, that kind of was like, F this, let's just do something?
Nah, our peoples beat up the owner of the record label. You know what I'm saying? Because he was jerking us too hard, saying I'm publishing, blah, blah, blah. Son came through on Haas's birthday, and Haas threw the cake at him.
Oh, shit.
So he went to leave, and then, my people seen him get up, and they, the thing is that, though UMCs was a happy-go-lucky group, you know what I mean, and we really was that way, our peoples really love us, you know what I'm saying? It's family and shit that watching us be hurt this way by somebody, and they had a visceral reaction, and unfortunately they assaulted dude on the elevator. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, if I want to get on my no snitching shit, I mean, I ain't telling nobody this.
Allegedly.
Nah, it wasn't allegedly. You got beat up, but that's how that went.
Hey, you jerk somebody, there's consequences.
Yeah, and I mean, really, that's like the penance is light for that, because if you think about it in the bigger picture of it, it's a stolen legacy. When you take, you got young minorities in this country, creating immense amount of wealth. Rap is $1 billion industry. So you got all these kids out of these projects and all this stuff generating immense amount of wealth, but they rights to their own material, what they produce, they don't have any rights to it really. And so you got record labels that's preying on that, and they're literally stealing the legacy from these young people. So now the millions of dollars that these young people could be getting. Now let's not even consider, let's not even consider while they're young. To hell with that. Let's talk about when they're in their 30s or 40s. You understand?
Yes.
And
I can live off of that.
Yeah,
earlier work, or
That's their whole. That's their whole.
Like a retirement. Fun type of thing.
That's put their kids through college money.
Yeah.
That's established wealth. That's open up business when they get older and have a little more sensibility. You know what I mean? And if you robbing them of that. So if you got one rapper come out, he got a crew of about 5, 10, 15 people. If he was getting the money he was getting, how could that impacted the lives of that 5, 10, 15 people?
So true.
And then how could that impacted the lives of their children? So exponentially, you're in theory ruining an entire neighborhood of people that could have
next generation too. That wealth that passes on.
Right. So there's no generational wealth.
Yeah.
So now that's the one export that Black Americans have above all others, is the ability to generate entertainment-based wealth, and cats have managed to corral and enslave that to them for the most part. And that's I mean, as an adult, I have the sensibility to understand that assaulting a dude was not a good idea. You know what I'm saying? But as somebody that understands the nature of things, he was fortunate that that's all that happened to him. You understand what I'm saying?
Could have been worse.
Because, in retrospect, all of what my children missed out on, and now my grandchildren don't have access to, because their grandfather who earned, you look at the Vanderbilts, somebody established that wealth. It wasn't like that whole family earned that wealth. It was one individual with that last name, the DuPonts.
Yeah.
The DuPont, like you hear DuPont Electrical, like that, DuPont's an individual who built up a company, and then their family developed that wealth. And now it's not even just a family name, it's an institution that provides an important service. You know, that's a big deal, you know. So, you know, when you think about it like that, it's like, yo, son, that's a criminal thing that goes on, man. You know what I mean? I hope one day that, you know, justice is served on that, because it's terrible, man.
You think there's a possibility of, like, people suing retroactive, or however it works?
People are starting to already. I see it coming, man. You know, I won't say too much on that, only because, God willing, if I should ever get the opportunity, I'd definitely be one of them.
No doubt.
But, you know, you don't want to put too much in there and then fuck around, and then, you know, people be ready for your ass. You
Legal and all that shit. No doubt. So, after the 2 albums, you kind of went the solo route and became NY Oil. Was that how many years after Unleashed, or how many years after when you started? Was NY Oil in response to all that label?
Nah.
Okay.
Well, what happens is we do the first 2 albums. That brings us into about 94. Around 97, I had moved to Maryland. No, 99, I moved to Maryland. So around 2000, 2001, I did my own album as Kool Kim. I was going by Fly Guy Kool Kim at the time. I did other projects. Like I released a single independently. This is back in the day too, like before Cass was really doing that.
As Kool Kim.
Yeah, it's Kool Kim. Then I did another joint with this group 321, and you know I had other inclinations in me trying to come back. You know what I mean? Some of them it didn't happen, but they were dope though. And then I moved to Maryland, and when I moved to Maryland, I did an album called The Has Been under Fly Guy Kool Kim, and that joint was tough. But you know, this was pre-internet, like internet was still not official like that. So it wasn't like where you could really promote it like you can now. So it did alright, you know what I'm saying? It's one of them like rare finds.
This was independent. You was going independent about it.
Yeah, that was ultimately independent. Like I was producing the CD, I was burning the CD myself. I was doing everything. And yeah, so then when I got back to New York, I got up with Haas or whatever, and Haas was talking about, yo, you should go by, you know, you should, you know, he was trying to develop his Phantom of the Beat persona. And he was like,
a producer too, and
yeah, you know, and so he wanted to do that, and he was like, yo, you should go under, you know, you should, you know, go under your name, NY Oil or whatever, because, you know, I would tell him about where that came from, because NY Oil comes from an acronym, New York's Original International Lover.
Okay.
So that was really my swinger name, like.
Did it have a double meaning too? Like oil, the whole oil part?
No.
Okay.
It was New York's Original International Lover. Like, it was me. I was, you know, I was out there. I was doing my thing with the ladies and the band, you know, saying a little party, you know, had a good time, you know, this and that.
So it wasn't automatically, because some people may assume that's like, because you came out with the Y'all Should All Be Lynched, some people may assume that the NY Oil is like that conscious, revolutionary name, which was partially, but wasn't necessarily that the case initially.
That's not how it started. But what happened is, all of them from that group, this group called Black Voices. It was a message board, Black Voices and shit. And it had the BB Love thing, you know what I'm saying? Black Voices Love board. I used to be on all the time, and so they used to call me NY Oil for short, because anybody want to keep saying New York's Original International Lover, and I would write it in all caps to aggravate motherfuckers. So like, I was like the first trolling ass dude on the internet. I used to fuck with people. You know what I'm saying? I know who was the first troll, but I was one of them though. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was different with me. I was fucking with people, but in a cool way, right? And so they would call me NY Oil, so that everybody knew me as that. So I had a whole world of people that had no idea that I was Kool Kim from the UMCs. They didn't even know I was a rapper with #1 records. They just knew I was NY Oil. And there would be books and shit, like sex books and shit that people have written over the years.
Okay.
They was talking about my exploits and shit.
Like novels? You mean like those like sex novels
or whatever? So they would be talking about shit that... Because the shit that I did would be epic. Like, it would be epical shit. Like, you know, and it's not so much about, yo, I sling a dick. Like, it would just be the stories would be so fucking hilarious.
Okay, like how you picked up a chick or some shit?
Yeah, how it would go on, you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, yo, it's unbelievable, you know what I'm saying?
So you would relay these stories
online, like, you know what I'm saying? But it would be with the people that was online.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I give you an example, because ain't nobody gonna know none of this shit. You have to know me to know this, what the fuck I'm talking about. But there was this, you know, one time, I was, you know, this chick that was, you know, popular on the board, I ended up running into her, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We connect, we about to party and all like that. Turns out she's deaf in one ear. You understand? So she talk like, you have a dick talk kind of talk when she talk. I'm a kind of, she, you know, a word around it. So I'm like, you know, it's love though, because you know, pretty woman though, you know what I'm saying? She had big hands though, you know what I'm saying, which concerned me, you know what I mean? And so...
Sounds like a Seinfeld episode. You know, like a Seinfeld episode, like crazy shit.
It's even worse though. So, you know, we rocking and rolling, you know what I'm saying? We get, you know what I'm saying, we mixing it up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I got my little shit that I like to say when we mixing it up. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying, yo, you like this girl? Huh? You know, I'm talking in the deaf ear. I'm not realizing it. You like this girl? Huh? You like this girl? Huh? You like this girl?
Oh my God.
I don't want to stop to get this shit I say. I like, yo, this shit is crazy.
So that made it in a novel?
Yeah, you know, somebody would, you know, motherfuckers would just take my shit, yo, because I would be writing these epics. So, you know, anyway, like, that, you know, the shit you go through, but that's part of, like, what make you a dope MC to me. Like, the shit you experience. Like, you can't just, you know, you ain't do but one thing. Like, nigga, all you do, you on the block all day talking about some shit. That's why all the motherfuckers come around about is about guns and bullshit. And I be laughing because I'm like, yo, there ain't even guns up in New York like this. Like, you go down, I'm down south. I ain't never seen so many guns because it's a commonplace down south. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I have more guns than anybody I knew now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got guns for sure. Like, not even like on no thug shit. Just because it's just some shit you could just get. Like, yo, let me go get this 9. Let me get this shotgun. Yeah. So, you know, so that's some of the stuff that I experienced. But anyway, to the original point, when I got up with Haas and stuff like that, when I had moved back from Maryland, I was like, yo, all right, let me do that then. You know what I'm saying? Let me hit the blah blah blah, and then I went by NY Oil, and I had did this song because Haas had did Magic Stick, right?
The Lil Kim 50 Cent joint.
Yes, he produced that beat, and apparently he was having some sort of difficulties with 50 Cent and Lil Kim. So he tried to G me up to diss 50 Cent. And I was like, cool, I'm going to tear him apart. Because, you know, I'm a MC. Like, this is not a problem. He's not, you know, I knew what he was capable of, but I understood that, you know, what 50 does smart, he'll assassinate your character. He ain't going to really rhyme at you because he's not that strong of a lyricist. It's not about
bars necessarily with him.
He'll make fun of you and assassinate your character. And I was like, you can say what you want about me because I ain't got shit. And then I was like, yo, plus, you ain't gonna know who I am to try to get at me. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna tear you up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just keep getting at you lyrically. You know what I'm saying? And because I know how to, I've been battle rapping cats for years. I've been traveling all over the country taking cats on. Like, a lot of people don't know how many people I've humiliated on the, you know, face to face or come to their hood. You know, where like, yo, I didn't know son could get it in like that. I'm like, yeah, man, you know, I in my day, you know,
not just a party MC, not just a party MC.
Yeah,
you also, you know, you can help, you know.
I could do it all. Like, I can do any style of rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Even the shit that's now. Like, I don't, you know, I'm gonna do a project just to show young people, like, yo, my man, I can do all that shit. It's nothing, you know, and I can do it good, like not whack, but like for real. And I don't know arrogant shit, but it's just, I love the art.
No, that joint was amazing.
You know?
That.
And so I ended up doing the song, you know what I mean? And the weirdest shit that happened. So I did this song where I did 50. I didn't like the song. I didn't like the beat. I didn't like the song. I was like, yo, this shit whack. But the day I did it, my man Quaz came over and he brought Capadonna to my house.
Okay.
Which was bugged because it was like, what the fuck is Kappa doing at my house? Like, you know, I didn't know him like that. I know me and Meth Man went to grade school together.
Okay.
So I knew Meth, you know what I'm saying? I knew you got from Statue of Liberty. You understand? I knew RZA, you know, from seeing him when he used to rhyme with H.M., you know what I'm saying, aka Forrest, years ago, you know what I'm saying. But I ain't really know RZA that heavy. But I knew you got it, and I knew and plus he hung out with my man Jello, you know what I'm saying. So I knew son. And I knew, of course, like I said, I knew Meth, but I ain't know Cap. But I knew Cap when he used to go by OG and was, you know, really popular on Staten Island. Mm-hmm. So he was like the slick Rick of Staten Island.
Okay.
He was amazing, you know what I'm saying? And so he came to my house like, oh shit, this is odd. And I ended up letting him hear. I was like, yo, what y'all think of this shit right here? And Cap was like, yo, I don't like that shit. I was like, well, why not? He was like, yo, son, why you dissing 50 Cent? You should be thanking them because son doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? This is important. Remember this conversation as we talk, because it'll come up again. You know, he's doing his thing for his people. He's doing what he got to do for his, and that black man getting money. That's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't shit on each other, Which I found odd because anybody that really know what the Wu-Tang did to Staten Island on the humble would know that they created a condition where you couldn't get signed or nothing like that unless it was going through Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of blacklisted the island. That's why to this day a lot of cats have a hard time coming up. You know what I'm saying? But be that as it may, that wasn't really the individual members doing. It was more the higher ups in the thing doing that. That wasn't like, I can't put that on Gek or INS or,
I got
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can't say that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway,
was it an intentional thing, or was it just happened to be because they end up being
it was intentional.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, but he said that, I was like, yo, I gave that some thought, and I thought to myself, well, this interesting, man, for somebody like that to say that to me. Then that's more, maybe I should pay attention to that. You know what I mean? God trying to tell me something, man. It's a message. So, right on the heels of that, I ended up making Young Shador get lynched. And
so you had released a track that you was specifically dissing 50 in it, clearly.
Yes.
Okay.
But I didn't release it though.
You didn't release it, understood. Okay. So this is before the Young Shador get lynched. This was a specific track that Haas kind of told you, yo.
Yeah, and I didn't want to do it because I felt like it was whack, and I was like, yo, you kind of using me to do this shit. Nah, I'm not with it. You know what I mean? That's my man's and shit, but you and your friend do dumb shit, you know what I'm saying? So I like, yo, I ain't fucking with that shit, man. You ain't even using me like that, man. So
when you pissed off at the moment, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you gotta know when to be like, nah, son, easy. So anyway, I end up I was at the time I smoked weed too. And so I had decided to stop smoking. You know what I mean? So I was detoxing myself. So I was sitting in my house in a sweatsuit all day. Like I wouldn't even do nothing but just sit in a sweatsuit and sweat.
Trying to get out your pores, you mean?
Trying to get it out my detoxify. You know what I'm saying? Sweat. And you're going through the emotion. Anybody that ever stopped smoking weed, that smoked weed regularly. And if you smoke like I smoke, then you smoke weed every day. Yeah, that shit is you a fucking aggravated.
You snap on anything,
right? Yo.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying if you want to write a dope ass beef battle, stop smoking weed for a few days or a week,
you will be fucking furious.
Your balls will be coming out
like my God, fuck the world, motherfucker, I don't give a fuck. Like, y'all niggas suck. You suck my dick, nigga, you better duck. But you shoot the gat, nigga, yo, relax, man. Like, nah, nigga, I need weed, nigga. So, it was between that and, I had listened to this podcast by this dude, Tariq Nasheed, who at the time had this podcast called Mac Lessons. You know what I'm saying? He'll later be known as this preeminent black voice, which is like, just to show you how you can't, nigga's a pimp, you know what I'm saying? But he pimped his way into the black liberation movement.
Okay.
And, but he had said something heavy. He was saying something about Katrina and how he was like, he started off talking about Flavor Flav and what, the kind of foolish shit that was going on Flavor of Love when the girl took a shit on herself at the stairway. Like, that shit was like, yo, fam, like, what kind of shit is that to have going on? Like, that make us look foolish in front of the fucking world, son. And I was like, yo, that's facts, son. You know what I'm saying?
And that whole reality show.
Yeah, when that shit was really heavy like that. And that Flavor Love shit was hard. It was hitting hard on the networks. And he has made a point like, yo, that's why niggas float on the streets of New Orleans for a week. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't respect you. Because when the white people would be floating on the streets of New Orleans for no motherfucking week straight, under no circumstance. You understand? Under no circumstance. They're gonna, if nothing else, they're gonna clean them bodies up quick, fast. They're gonna get, you know what I'm saying? Like, our shit was like, fuck them. You know what I mean? You know, and that happens when people don't respect you. And people don't respect you that way when you don't respect yourself to any real level. You understand? And when you allow a poor image of yourself to make manifest, and all of that shit between me not smoking and Capadonna's visit, which was positive. Yeah. But I'm just saying that the synchronicity of it all, that Mac Lessons joint, and the fact that every night in front of my buildings, which my buildings was very peaceful, but at a point they started going to the dark side. When I came back from Maryland and moved back to the buildings I was living in, it was like Beirut, like it was like a whole nother vibe. And it was like, man, y'all niggas ain't even grow up like this. Why y'all doing all this kind of dumb shit all night? Motherfucker, this shit 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, motherfuckers come out the house like a vampire. You know, yo, shut the fuck up. I had to go outside every time I turn around, I'm going downstairs like, yo, son, shut the fuck up, son. Nigga gotta go to work in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And just the whole protocol being lost. So I was pissed.
I felt like there was a breakdown somewhat with everything going on.
I got triggered. And I went crazy. And next thing you know, all y'all bullshit MCs, boom, there will be some time for you. Y'all are on notice.
Amazing. Yeah. Now, I remember downloading that joint, looking for it, looking on the internet, where's this NY Oil joint? And, the reason I was asking you about the name is because when I saw the name, I was like, I'm thinking you meant maybe you do, like you're the oil of New York, because oil is so valuable, we're going to war over oil,
Yeah, the oil, black gold, and our black gold is our people.
I was like, this dude is serial NY Oil, and I know about the Kool chemistry at that time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure like a lot of people didn't either, who saw your name. I'm like, who's this dude slaughtering everybody? But people still kind of looked at it, a lot of people took it personally, even though you wasn't necessarily naming names in that joint, like your first diss. But it seems like some people still took it personal. Like, you talking about me? You talking about me? Like,
and I was like, yeah, I am talking about you. That was the whole thing. Like, and that was funny. That was real interesting, Paul, because the thing about NY Oil was, I don't know, man. Maybe what I'm saying may be kind of bullshitty or not, but all I can say is, there's a power in believing in yourself and believing something bigger than yourself. Because I felt like the way I took it was like, I've always believed that, like when people talk about who the top 5 is, I think that's bullshit, or who the GOAT is. I think that's bullshit because art ain't like that. That's not what art is. You know what I'm saying? If you're a real artist, like if you write rhymes and shit, and you go back and look at your old rhyme books, or like your old verses, wherever you keep them, you know what I mean? When you listen to them, like read them, you realize that shit don't really be coming from you. Like, where the fuck did that come from? That shit is crazy. Like, where'd I get that shit from? And so I always felt like it was a spirit that, whatever universal energy bequeaths its power to you to get that shit off, you know what I'm saying? Any art like that, where you could, motherfuckers sing a song so good, send a chill up your spine. Motherfucker go to church, you slip and go to church, you motherfuckers sing so hard, you be saved, you ain't even know what happened. You be like, nah, I ain't even know, I'm like no Christian, I'm a Muslim, what the fuck is that? This shit happened. And you come out there reading the Lord's Prayer, like, motherfucker got me. That's just powerful, what artists can tap into. And so when the spirit hit me to do NY Oil and be NY Oil, I was so deeply entrenched in the notion of being that person that I would walk into spaces, me and my man E, you know what I'm saying? It'd be just me and him, you know what I mean? And we would walk up in the spots, man. And it'd be this very motherfuckers I was talking about be in the building. And no one say shit to me. No one to violate me. No, I never had no smoke behind being in my oil. No one ever fucked with me.
Why do you think that's the case?
Because I think the spirit is with me on that. I think that, I think the universe and all that was like, nah, this shit got to be said. He good. And I'll tell you one other thing. I really, truly, and I know what I do know also is that when I did that, in the end of the song, you hear me say, yo, Professor Griff, man, where you at, brother? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I call on Professor Griff to get that Flavor Flav for this Flavor Love shit.
Take him off that show or whatever, yeah.
Professor Griff called me. Like, yo, he sized me up. Like, yo, and I was like, yo, son, I'm standing on that shit. I mean that shit. He was like, word? He said, all right, well, I'm going to tell you what. Wherever you go, someone's always watching you. Don't worry about it. You good. Everywhere you go, you safe. And that was that.
So you think even artists who were promoting the bullshit at the time, they still knew that your message was real?
Yeah.
They couldn't deny the facts. They couldn't deny it.
What could you say?
What could you say? And then if you do get offended and be like, yo, you talking about me? Then like, hey, maybe if you think I'm talking about you, then maybe you are who I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying? You throw a rock in a room full of dogs, the one that got hit is the one that squelches the loudest. So, that's pretty much it. And then what would happen was that I would get these radio interviews where people thought I was going to be a lunatic. You understand? And it's like, nah, son, I'm not a lunatic. I'm a very calculated individual. I'm smart. You know what I'm saying? I'm not bugged. My point of view is solid on this. So when they would ask me questions about that, I would be able to engage the interviewer, at the highest levels. To the extent that I ended up becoming a social pundit for the BBC network. So I was talking about presidential elections and all that shit because I can articulate myself. I generally like to talk in a comfortable syntax, so I don't go out my way to try to use big words and all that dumb shit like that. But I can speak to I've debated college professors and humiliated them because I know my shit. Like, I'm not bullshit. Like, I'm not fucking around. Like, you know what I mean? Because when I grew up arguing all the time, from where I'm from, all we did was argue and debate and snap. So you're not going to outword me. Like, that's, you might be tougher than me, all that. My man, you can have that shit. Because the world ain't really about being no fucking tough guy. Like, that's not really the world. The world is how your mind works, like how you can manipulate them words and how you can turn a motherfucking head with that shit. And I can manipulate these motherfucking words, whether it be rhymes or whether it's just a speech, whether it's written, whether it's, stories, poems. These words, my pen is mightier than a sword and something, you heard? Like, straight like that. I'm actually hold a great deal of pride in the fact that, my word game is not to be fucked with, you know what I'm saying? And so when I would go in these interviews and they thought that I was going, he'll have them on for 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Man, interview would be like 30 minutes, 40 minutes because the build I would hit these motherfuckers with would be so potent. They wouldn't even play no music or the whole fucking interview because they was too busy caught up talking to me because the shit that I was saying.
Do you think they were looking for you to instigate beef initially? Like,
drop
names
and all that
artists
shit.
And not have a real intelligent conversation about the state of...
They thought I was just going to trip out and get on there and rant. And I would rant, but the way I would do it would be such like, yo, this is so true. What he said is true. I would bark, like, yo, fuck you saying, you won't do this, that, and that. But what I would say would be like, it would tap into people's legitimate anger. Because motherfuckers is mad about certain shit. How you can like that? You think about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Cash, AD, turn around, man. I don't care where you live. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you live, hard times America, right? You hearing about this one got killed, that one got shot, that one got shot, that one got shot, this gang member got... But then one of these motherfuckers, there's no gang member in the history of gang members that have shot the Klan. Ain't nobody shot up no Ku Klux Klan rally.
Not that I heard of.
You know what I'm saying? These niggas, they marksmen for killing their own peoples and innocent bystanders. But none of these tough guys ever took it to this white man. None of these tough guys take it to these fucking police. All this shit they talking about. Like, yo, that's real shit to think about. Like, yo, son, like, yo, you preying on your own fucking people, you fucking traitor. How I'm not gonna look at you like that? You think that's because ain't nobody said that shit to you? Cause you think, you know what I'm saying? Why? Cause you talking that dumb shit with enough force. It sounds strong. I learned from my man Terry B one time, man. He was like, yo, niggas come at me with this is their negativity. This is my positivity. What up? You know what I'm saying? I'm not being soft about being positive.
No doubt.
A lot of cats is soft. Like, you positive, but you soft. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these cats negative is even more soft, but you just don't realize it because that negative shit is big and loud.
They got the bark, but not the bite.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know that shit'll scare you because they talking big, but it's like, yo, son, first off, you stupid. So you're not strong. You're weak because you're dumb. Being dumb is a weakness that far surpasses your physical ability. You understand? Because like I said, the world ain't about physicality. The world is about mentality. And if you're not strong mentally, son, you a sucker. Yo, you easy prey.
No, that joint was like amazing, and it was like all of New York was on notice with that joint, like you said in the song, and wherever it went internationally too. You know, people knew that song everywhere. You know, like cats in the Middle East, for example, who was getting into hip hop, they knew the NY Oil joint. You know what I'm saying? The shit was
And then it was like an active campaign to suppress me at that point too, because people saw what I was doing and what it was doing, and then they saw that I was being substantive. Like I wasn't just rhyming about some bullshit. Like like me and you connected because I was out on the streets doing the work of the community.
Exactly.
I wasn't just talking shit. You understand? Like, yo, nah, yeah, I feel this way about shit, but yo, let me take my ass over here. Yo, I may feel this way, but I may have strong racial beliefs, but I was at, I was on the other side of the island helping white people.
Because the last time I saw you, just for those watching, last time I saw you was after Hurricane Sandy on Staten Island. You had lost power in your building, no water, etc. But other parts of the island were devastated. People lost their homes. People died. I think Staten Island had the most fatalities out of all the boroughs. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So I saw you doing positive work. Like, yo, even though I'm in a bad situation, me and my family, there's other people out there who need help more immediate right now. I'm going to go out there, do a barbecue cookout, bring water, bring supplies, help. And I know you're a handy person. We'll talk about that with the Georgia move.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I got to link up with this brother NYO. And I came and linked up with you, and I saw you doing amazing work in the community and unifying the island at the time that it needed to be. It was all the North Shore, South Shore bullshit, which may still exist. But you was kind of like, yo, now is not the time for that. I'm going to go out there and help people who need help.
Exactly.
Why did you do that? You wasn't, I know you're a conscious brother and all that, but what motivated you to take that step?
Because hurt is hurt. Sad is sad. Mourning is mourning, fam. Like, what else is there to that? Pain is pain, kid. Like, I know what it feel like to lose shit. You know what I mean? I've lost a house. I know what that shit feel like. I know what that shit feel like to lose somebody you love. To see your shit destroyed in front of your eyes that you bust your ass so hard for. And it ain't been that way. It been in other ways. But I don't need to go through what they went through to understand what hurt feel like. And so if I could do something to alleviate hurt in the air, I got to combat hurt. Because fuck hurt, man. Fuck pain. Fuck destruction and evil and wicked. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying?
You can keep it going.
I gotta stand on my own. What I know is right and exact. You feel me? Like, yo, this is what I know is true. So I'm not letting that shit live. I can't have it. You understand? I can't have it. Not in my presence. To me, that's some sucker shit. See, I'm a man's man to how I feel about shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of shit is some sucker shit that people do. But I think really to be able to see people suffering in your presence and you got the wherewithal, the capacity to do something and you don't do nothing, that's some sucker shit, man. That's some weak, I'm just going for myself. Anybody that just go for self a sucker to me, man. I think that shit corny. I hate that shit, man. So I'm seeing people struggling. Let me be, and you know what else too? Because, and this is some other real shit. Those same people would be the same people like when I used to live in Staten Island and stuff like that. I used to go to this thing called Skate Odyssey, man. You know what I'm saying? It was a skating rink off of Old Town Road, I think, or stop off or whatever. And I used to, breakdance there when I was a kid.
That's Highland Boulevard and Old Town Road right
there?
Yeah.
I used to go there to breakdance from like Saturdays. You could dance there and stuff for the kids and stuff, the kid parties. And, yeah, that's how I was in them days. I remember getting beer bottles thrown at me and called nigga by them same people that we was out there to help. And I know them motherfuckers wasn't even, they wanted to be on their racist shit, but they were so in dire need that they couldn't even really hold that racist shit together when we was there. And I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm out here to do the right thing because I'm righteous. You know what I'm saying? And you know what else? Because I'm fucking better than you. I'm a better person than you. Because you ain't gonna come down to our community and do this. But let it be known. And I'm not doing it on the strength of showing you that I'm a better person than you. I'm doing it because I'm a better person than you. Because I ain't moving on that same fuck shit y'all moving on. I'm moving on love, yo. On what's righteous and what's good and what, God's work. You know what I'm saying? What to be in the proper universal order, what that work is. To do the right thing by people. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what need to be done. And I'm stronger than you because I'm not so weak that I'm concerned that you don't reciprocate that shit back to me. And if you don't do that, then I'm not. Nah, because my resources ain't gonna be burnt by helping somebody else. Because my shit is infinite.
Now, that moved me tremendously, bro. When I saw you had released a video where you was driving by Old Town Road and you were like, yo, right here, man, I used to get called the N-word, racism. But, you know, that's... for that moment, I'm putting it behind me right now because people need help. I'm gonna be the bigger person. It's not, you know... But you still stated the facts and what happened.
Actual facts.
Instead of acting like that never happened, just to make some people happy and
yeah, you know, feel good about themselves.
Because there was a change on the island after Hurricane Sandy amongst a lot of white people. They were like, "Yo, the city don't care about us like we thought they did. We thought we were special. We thought Giuliani cared about us. We thought Bloomberg. Ain't nobody. Y'all was neglected because y'all was middle class people, working class. You're not that important in the scheme of things."
That's it.
And they kind of woke them up in that sense.
Right. You know, and then seeing how we're just a little neglect. You heard what their neighborhoods can become. How quickly their neighborhoods look like niggas' neighborhoods. To put it bluntly. You understand? It didn't take long. It wasn't that long before they shit devolved. And motherfuckers went savage. And it's like, oh, now you see that shit work.
I do want to talk about you moving to Georgia. You left Staten Island, you moved to Georgia, you bought a house, you started doing your own, do it yourself, I'm gonna fix up the house, documented, like your own reality show that you're doing your own self.
Yeah.
Did Hurricane Sandy lead you to leaving Shaolin? Like, what was it that made you leave Staten Island and move
Sandy was a catalyst. Another one was I had went down to visit a friend of mine who lived in Augusta. And when I went down there, man, I was seeing empty buildings and so much potential. And the cost of living was beautiful.
Compared to New York, exactly.
I saw a house with $8,000. Wow. $8,000. So that's 8 months at the apartment I was living in. Easily. And money to spend on tricking. You know what I mean? Man, I had to make a decision on what kind of life I wanted to live. I wanted to know what is the quality of living that Kool Kim want to have. And I had realized, yo, fam, I know I wasn't no dude that want to be working someplace every day, all day for the rest of my days, man. That shit was not the wave. So I had to figure out something more sensible. Like, yo, if I could get a house for $8,000 and renovate it, even if it's beat up, I could teach myself how to renovate this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Did you know about renovation all that beforehand, or was that all?
Nah, you know what it was that I had went to I lived in Maryland, like I told you, and I had a house there. So I had started learning about fixing it up because when you get a house, it don't become with no instructions. Buy a used house.
It's yours now. Figure it out. True. No, there's no IKEA furniture instructions exactly.
You just maybe you get the closing, you go to closing, you sign your shit off. Congratulations. All right, great. Here's your keys. How do you turn on the heat?
Exactly. Exactly.
What is this thing? What is this thing? What is the hot water heater? How does this turn out? How does this work? Is it on? How does this do? I had no idea, bro.
Oh, man.
You know, it was similar to that for me too, was having my children. When the doctors was like, and then one day they was like, yo, all right, goodbye.
Here's a baby.
We taking the baby home today. Wait, ain't no classes? Like, we just get to take the baby home, we all get ain't no licensing? That was that ignorant. I was like, yo, I just get, like, that's it? We can just let us take a whole human being home with us. We don't got no information.
That's crazy.
Nothing. Goodbye. You know what I'm saying? And it's amazing that that's actually how it goes. And that's how it was with having the home. So I had learned some stuff from having the house in 2000 to about 2005 maybe. And then so by the time I moved down here, I was already kind of familiar with doing some stuff. You know, I had done little projects in the house. You know, not little, but, you know, significant enough projects, but not to the extent of what I did in this one. And so thank God for YouTube and that sort of stuff because, you know, I was able to be educated by all these human beings that shared information on them, you know. And
when fixing up a brand new house or repolishing this or bringing back an old chair that looks messed up, but you can make it back to new. Yeah.
And in doing that, because the way that went, like I'm not, you know, I hadn't really spoke to it, but I never got paid for making music all the time. So I kept being in these bad deals. And And
even the first 2 albums?
All that shit. We never got paid for that shit. These niggas jerked us. So, that's why I was talking about that legacy thing with Wild Pitch. Because if otherwise, I would be living a whole different lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? But make a long story short, I learned, in learning it, I started learning how to address things differently. So like I don't buy furniture from no furniture store and be spending hundreds of dollars on a couch. I get a couch for like $40, and be a perfectly good couch. I just hit it with the steamer, and know how to clean it and make it look like it's brand new. Like, yo, if you see cats on the internet right now, you go on YouTube, dudes be doing the sneaker renovations.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you be like, them joints is garbage. Like that, you can't. And somehow they bring it back. It's a brand new shoe. Yo, even the little part where it creases at the toe box be creased because that should be a brand spanking new shoe.
That's crazy.
And they doing that shit on the strength of, like, somebody figured it out. Like, yo, son, this has got to be a way to make this thing look good. And they figured it out. And they just put the work in. And I was like, yo, that's what I'm going to start doing. So even with furniture and stuff like that, man, appliances, all that, you don't get no junk. But you'd be surprised what other people, like, because you keep in mind, like, some rich dude, right, his wife had a kitchen remodel 2 years ago. You know what I mean? The shit
all brand
new, fresh to death, top of the line shit. She decided, yo, she see some shit on HGTV, and she want to redo her shit today. And she's like, yo, I want to redo my shit. And he like, yes, honey. All right, let's get rid of that shit. So they take all that shit and they send it to the Restore. Habitat for Humanity shit. Now the Restore got a brand new $5,000 stove.
Granite or whatever.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they selling it for $100. What? Even at 2 years out of season, that shit is still ahead of the curve for everybody else. That's some shit that would have been, it's way out of my price range any other circumstance. But now I got something that is still way out of your price range. But now I got it for pennies on the dollar.
Got you, yeah. That's amazing. Where can people check that out? Like, is it on YouTube, your page, Facebook, or where?
Facebook, Life After Hip Hop.
Life After Hip Hop. That's dope.
That's where you can see it, and this is all kind of stuff we do. Cause now one of the things about the Sandy thing was that we couldn't collect water, we couldn't garden. So had that thing extended, where you getting food from, right? So we started gardening. Now we have our own garden. So we be having tomatoes and eggplants.
In Georgia, yeah. So it was like a wake up call. Hurricane Sandy partially was like a wake up call. Like, yo, I can't be depending on the city for everything. I gotta be as independent as possible. And if you can, then why not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly, fam. Do something different.
Life After Hip Hop. But now we back to hip hop because you got a new album out.
Yeah.
Called Demo Music.
Yes.
Kool Kim Demo Music. Why'd you title it Demo Music?
Because the demo is a demonstration of the inception of music. You know what I'm saying? That's when you first, when you do the demos, and that's when the raw idea made manifest. Like, it wasn't even you understand what I'm saying? Like, it was, I just came with this shit.
So it is a reference to the demos like in the 90s where artists will make a demo, take it to the label to get signed or whatever.
Yeah.
Or, give it to radio stations, or, basically to let people hear this is what I'm about.
It's about letting them, and all of the hopes and dreams placed into a demo. All the cats that ever made a song or two and try to send it in to get on, you know what I mean? That's what demo music is about. But how dope that joint used to sound, like bass heavy, you know what I'm saying? And not mixed right, so everything can sound gritty. That was the appeal of Wu-Tang because it sounded like demo music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, really sloppy but dope, hard. It should sound hard.
You hear the vinyl, you hear the crackling of the
man. That
vinyl.
Shit is, that's, it's not quite synced up perfectly, so it's a little off, so give it a swing that's like, oh, shit. And so that, that's why I love demo music. You know what I mean? I've heard songs that the demo was hard as fuck, but the actual song is whack because it's too clean, it's too polished, it starts sounding soft. But demo music, man, that shit always sound hard. Blue Cheese, the demo, that shit was hard, yo. the fucking song, they kept putting shit in it. Like, you know, they kept putting these little this and that. And he had like 700 fucking snares in that song, man. Like, it just got to a point it just wasn't fly no more to me. It just started sounding too, like
sterile?
Yeah.
It's too, yeah.
It's too sterile, kid. Like, it, like, you know, it sounded like it, you know, like a white linen suit. Like, it's like, it's not, man. You know. You know, so you gonna play football and it's like, well, you got a like white suit on, man. It's not good. Like,
so Demo Music is out now. Where can people check it
everywhere.
out? It's out everywhere.
Everywhere. Anywhere you download or stream music, it is there.
Under Kool Kim.
Kool Kim.
Kool
Kim. You understand? Demo Music. The first single is out right now. It's called The Get Down.
Ooh, that joint is woof.
And that was produced by my man Bukowski.
Okay.
Who just had just celebrating the birth of his son, I believe.
Beautiful.
His name is True. You know what I'm saying? So peace to True. Welcome to the world, son. You heard? And So Boo did the whole album.
Oh, he produced the whole album.
The whole project. Like, that's how I'm rolling right now. I'm doing one producer project.
Nice.
I'm not doing no whole this one and that one, because I want to have a vibe. You know, a one sound vibe. Boom. That's it.
So to get that, all right. So I know we're gonna perform some of the joints off of Demo Music. All right, let's get into it then. Kool Kim on Freestyle Drive. Freestyle Drive. I'm Lebanese Ether. Got my man Kool Kim with me in the car today.
Yeah.
He's visiting from Augusta, Georgia.
You already?
He had a show last night.
Yeah, Eurekan, yo.
Yeah. Had to pass through to Brooklyn, link up with him before he heads back out. You know what I'm saying? Haven't seen his brother since Hurricane Sandy. In the aftermath, and you know, he's doing positive work. He's still doing amazing stuff out there in Georgia right now. He got a new album, Demo Music. We're about to get into a little performance of the new project.
Yeah, we're gonna give it to you like it's a real show. You ready? So go like this. Listen, before we start, look. I stand surrounded by 4 poles of 4 souls, 4 fitting fortune for goals and 4 control. Dig. I'm pro back like Afro picks from way back, which is to say that my fist lifts any naps it attacks. Or sleeping elements catch the vapors like velaments. Your thesis based on the relevance, mind pure intelligence. The shepherd hears the silence of his lambs and crams to understand how wolves plan to outfox the man. Yo,
yes.
You're newborn to this art form while I'm reaching my peak, so your words is pitifully weak against these ill thoughts I speak. Now check this verse. Why be meek and inherit the earth when the strong get the earth at birth and ruin it first? Now, if true lies is new tries in disguise, you guys need new eyes to avoid surprise. In fact, rappers should be forced to learn the 3 B's. Be black, be beautiful, be brilliant, before being an MC. Let's do something real quick. Yeah, this is demo music right here for you. You heard? Shout out to Bukowski, you understand? DJ Johnny Juice.
It's Kool Kim.
Yeah. Hip hop shit, you heard?
It's Kool Kim.
Hey, 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 yo, look, I got a chip on my shoulder the size of a boulder. As I grew older, I grew colder, no rollover. As I got bolder, this mic holder, I thought I told ya, I'm an enlisted, gifted, boom bap soldier. Kool Kim an army, better yet a navy. Even better, I'm the Marines, my team crazy. Bounce, I need a pound, not a hot 16 ounce. Rappers is trouncing absurd amounts after all that I've been through. They tried to erase me, they see what Kool Kim do. Now they scared to face me, son. I finna get you, I make you hate me, I do. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I'm hoist racing, oh my God. These rappers' whole lives a mirage. A montage of other people's lives a freaking collage. Lyrical savior, son, I'm a clear and present danger. Who saved the baby prophet as he hopped over the mazer? I'm about to jump out the window in this, the window of a plane in the sky, and I don't give a shit. And if they keep on asking me why, I'ma flip out a bit like lyrics from the clip when I flip. Ho, whoa, then I go in. What? You should get your mind right. Get your mind right, then I go in. Yo, I know the spotlight really ain't a hot light, and if it's not right, cash it all in. I know this limelight really ain't a bright light, so if it's check. This that vintage dope shit that don't diminish. Papa eating his spinach until Brutus is finished. Yo, this is brutal business, and I'm in this to win this. I'm a witches that roll with witches, this real vicious. Mike's my mistress, if I rub it, I get 5 wishes. Which is my prime witches, wishes the senses, bitches. Wishes stitches, catches stitches, yo, I'ma scratch your itches. Your goony googles get this, I'm about to test your fitness. I'll be your mentor, or if you're not sure, take you on a tour at the end of death's door, or yes, sir, Lord, got the gun and the sword. Hang this away, Kool Kim, take your shit overboard. I get it poppin', I get it rockin', I'm show stoppin', roll. What's the mic, won't go stay steady poppin', yeah. Hey, oh my gosh. You know, we don't get,
Kool Kim.
Yeah, ha.
Demo music, freestyle drive.
Hey. Yeah.
Wow, that shit is amazing, my brother.
It's Kool Kim.
Yeah, we just look down, we rocking out. Y'all seeing the show right now. It's the show y'all missed last night. We giving it to you, Lebanese Ether, freestyle drive style, you heard? Yo, son, let me talk something real quick, man, you know? It's a long way down, kid, especially from the top, you heard? Yeah, lyrics like lava when it flow. It turns shit and burns shit to ashes where it goes. I learned to set earth to suck, yes, I didn't know that when the volcano erupt and blow, it's not for show. They ask conjunction, what's your function? Linking words together like mayhem and destruction. Comparative races, righteous or corruption. This instructions for those who chose disruption. I be in touch when, but now you're not ready. I know this for a fact because they aim still ain't steady. You can't stop me. You see, I hide amongst the paparazzi, the average nobody. Dead before you ever spot me. Dead long before you know you're dead, son. I'm poisonous. No noise, it's best if you're avoiding this. Who decided I died? You know he lied. I'm Escanor, the seventh deadly sin of pride. Kool Kim, a cruel one. I rule over you fools until I school some. It's a long way down. Look, yo, I'ma tell you one and all. If I ever get the call, guaranteed I make you fall, motherfucker. It's a long way down. It's a long way down. It's a long way down. Yo, it's a long way down. It's a long way down. They told me something like what goes up must come down. All the way down, 6 feet underground. 360 degrees, it's right back around. Yo, your bottom's is barely suckers full of clowns. Your purpose is worthless, your verses don't resound. My curses, my words is profound. Prolific and specific, the difference is distance. 92 million miles up in this instance. Styles like I styles and wild, I keep your interest. I've been this, so ain't compelled to convince shit. Break of dawning, good morning's my first warning. Optimize, optimist pride when I'm transforming. Read between the lines when I rhyme, some type of hidden meaning. Standing on your chest while you're sleeping, I'm a dream demon. Hey, Garrett, what? Motherfucker, it's a long way down. Yo, it's a long way down. Yo, it's a long way down. It's a long way down. A long way down. Yo, let me talk to y'all real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it to you like it's supposed to be given. You understand? So listen closely. You understand? Check it out. See, I'ma try to the day that I die, or maybe one day it'll go my way and I learn to fly. Cause I know someday in the grave I'll lie, but they will say that I believed and achieved the dream of touching the sky. So I speak these words, but when the author is gone from the world, the architect will erect another, but not as yet. So despite my past decisions and poor conditions, I'ma keep holding my head and complete my mission. So I stand like Shango as I speak with thunder, suddenly dispelling the darkness as well as the wonder. So optimistically optimistic that when I opt to stop being on top, it's not unrealistic. I rhyme this way, these things I say, so different. I invested in my higher self and it's gaining me interest. So I refuse to change to get in this, cause it would have been senseless to be tempted by incense. In other words, blow smoke in the air to mask what's there in an attempt to confuse my senses. Shit, I'm absolutely the greatest MC because my mic control is mind control, my control of me. So I practice this tactic, hopefully hoping to be so free in my flow that I floated in an open sea. And I'll admit I thought that was it, and I would be seen no more. And yet I learned to ride the waves as I return to shore. And motherfucker, I'm here now. Let's do this shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Freestyle drive, you heard? We're gonna end it off with this right here.
Damn, you blessing me, my brother, blessing me, yo.
Yeah, you know how we give it up, though. You know what I'm saying? It's a thing, you know?
Now.
So it's right here, you know. It's called The Get Down. It's out right now, man.
This is my joint right here.
I love this shit right here. You know what I'm saying? You gonna rock out with me?
Yes, hell
all right,
yeah,
cool. You gonna hold me now. You know what I'm saying? If I miss a word or two, I'm looking for you, all right?
Try my best.
All right, let's do this then. You ready? Here we go, man. Mr. Sinister. Okay, all praises due. Kool Kim amazing, I plays with the truth, yeah. Look here, I'm raw, then raw. I'm 4 plus 4 laid on the side for sure, that's infinite. I'm different, I captured your interest. You're after the rapture, it's trapped in these synthesis. Low key, I'm greatly feared by my peers. They avoid me like the plague, I've been too sick for years. You're in mortal danger, beware the dark stranger. The masked assassin, the true and living Lone Ranger. Do or die, see I too fly. I write my name in graffiti in the clouds in the sky. Top 5, if they alive, they won't survive. On track, raw facts, deaths arrive. Quiet as kept, cards kept close to the vest. Gun strap crossing your chest, it's no chest. Extended clip in case I get pressed, it's no get out. Burn your whole town to the ground before I get out. Hey, I burn your whole sound, bust it down when I spit out. This shit out, unlock, you basically fuck, the pressure crush. Yelling damage, I can turn to dust. I'm tougher than leather, I never run out with whatever. Grim Reaper, swing a mic, watch your head sever. Chill, I'm a chill pill, no oxycontin. Kill, hide your body till your corpse rotten. In other words, you got a bipolar mic holder. Straight stunner, yeah, but I'm stone colder. The weed head versus the lawnmower. The seed sower and the one the grower. Conflicted the bower, the difference is all knower. The difference, the flow of the gift is all over. Black Clover, my grimoire's a mind blower. Hold up, yeah. It's a fucking vibe. Death on the rival, there be no revival. Calling me rival, son, that's suicidal. I ain't liable, son, your chances are slim. It's Kool Kim, no survival when you're up against him. I'm black on black, I'm crime stats, I'm actual facts. My bomb strapped to the back, a well-timed attack. Look, I'm well orchestrated and I'm well coordinated. And plus my circumstances are seemingly situated. Yeah, they are. Word up. It's a real thing right here. I'm in too deep, stay woke, can't sleep. Shearing your sheep, Lil won't beat. So I creep, freak of the week. I don't come cheap, I reach the mountaintop and I leap. I'm Sean Price, nice. I'm De Niro in heist. I'm the hero with the device. My name is precise. Getting me pissed, son. I'm getting sick with your lice. Wanna run my week and tumble. I flip tonight. I'm telling you this. Clench fist, you risk your life. I'm Wilson Fist, little daredevil. It's on sight. Get the gist, cause blind man's bluff is not tough. And talking big was never enough. It's just to get down. Yeah. It's your friendly neighborhood fly guy, Kool Kim, aka NY Oil. Freestyle Drive.
Freestyle Drive.
Yo, I make your whole girl wiggle, make that booty dribble. If she wearing a sundress, yes, I'ma dribble a little. Spring is third season, summer is pure sex. Fall is goodbye, y'all. Women is like left. Stay fresh. Don't live the lives of stress. Yeah. Worldwide fly guy, nothing less. I make a rubber head, not like these are the guys. The shit you whip, rap you kick, that shit hard. And the flow go like a fly, nigga, there's no regard. Man, there's more than one to grow. It's the whole damn yard, stay fresh. Don't live the lives of stress. Worldwide fly guy, nothing less. I don't live the lives of stress. Worldwide fly guy, nothing less. I'm too fly. I changed the whole vibe and I didn't have to try. So I do it to the depths and I'm fresh to the sky. They asked me how I did it. I said, why ask? Why they won't admit it? I'm far beyond you, far beyond gimmicks. I stay involved with it, no, you never go get it. Stay fresh. I don't live the lives of stress. Worldwide fly guy, nothing less. I don't live the lives of stress. Worldwide fly guy, nothing less. Hey, look, the woman I try, I pass the test. Sky high fly, I surpass the rest. Best of the best, man, I'm surely just do or die guy. Say that shit with your chest, I'm on a roll. I'm damn near out of control. I break the mold, broke the moon, shit, I broke the mold. I ran the jewels, listen fool, Kim is cooler than cold. Like back in the day, I'm better than bad and bolder than bold. Oh, woo! Hey, 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 I said, what?
Fly guy, Kool Kim on Freestyle Drive.
There you go, baby.
Wow, that was amazing, my man. Love
That's
it,
how
yo.
you do it, you know what I'm saying?
That album is hard, yo. Demo music. Everybody gotta check it out.
Yes.
The beats, the lyrics. yo, your live performance is amazing. You got stage presence. I'm sure you killed it at the New York last night. Even though I was online reading the comments, yo, Kool Kim, NYO puts on a great show. That's a lot of the comments I see when I look at your videos. You know what I'm saying? So
we out here trying to have a good time. You know, hip hop is many things. One of the things that it is, y'all gotta remember, it's fun. You know, a good time, man. You know what I'm saying? Bop to you in the whip with your peoples. Dope tunes. Come on, y'all rockin', singing along. That's hip hop too, fam. It ain't just gun toting, talking big shit and drug that. Yeah, that's cool too. It's got its time and place, but don't forget why you love it to begin with, man. Cause you was in the whip with your mans, or you was chilling at the lab, and they tossed on something that was hard as fuck, and y'all just was like, oh, this shit is cranking. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm real proud of you and happy that you developed this particular vehicle for the culture. You know what I'm saying? And that you're doing this great work, man, giving, you know, highlighting some dope people. I seen Tyler Phoenix on this joint. I seen my dude, you know, Intel come on and do his thing, you know what I'm saying? I seen Buckshot and them come on, was chilling, doing their thing. And now you done had the kid on here, man. This is a beautiful thing, man. So congratulations, son.
Thank you, my brother.
I'm so happy to have been here, man. Thanks for having me, Paul.
I'm blessed. You blessed me. I'm happy with your new album. What I like about it, one last word I want to say is that I can rock with it with my fellas, but I can also play with my lady in the car too. That's what's fun about it, is that it's universal. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can vibe to it. Even with the kids in the car, can enjoy the album. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
Demo music out now. Kool Kim. Any last words, my brother, before we
check me out on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching this, you probably already seen the Instagram link. But check me out on Instagram, Kool Kim _NYOIL, NYOIL. And please come visit my webpage, my website, KoolKimUMC.com. You can cop demo music. You can also get the dope. Look at my whiz. My gear is dope. You know what I'm saying? So you see the ooh tees and the ooh hoodies, and you know what I'm saying? Yo, we even coming with the scarves and the hats. Like it's the brand is bigger than just supporting the artist, but it's about fashion and style. So we coming with all that. So definitely come through. Definitely show love, hang out. Definitely get at me on Instagram or on Facebook. And it's a vibe, son. Like, fuck the bullshit. Like, come vibe with me, man. You know what I'm saying? All y'all young heads come fuck with the kid. Cause love is love. I hear a lot of y'all complaining about old heads and y'all don't know me then. You know what I'm saying? Cause I show love, man. I got mad love for y'all. And I wanna vibe with y'all. I wanna rhyme with y'all, man. Like, that's the one place that all the age shit don't gotta get in between us, man. You know, we could get on tracks and have fucking fun and man, like, let's get to the fucking essence. So if you any of my young heads watching, come see me, man. You got a big brother in me, man. You can bet that shit. You heard?
Dope. Beautiful, beautiful. Again, Kool Kim, Freestyle Drive, demo music out now. Peace, y'all.
Peace.